We're live. We are live. Does that camera angle look good? I think so. How's everybody doing? It's 8 o'clock. It's Monday night, 19th of September. Hope everybody's doing okay. Not going to get into too much. We'll wait till people start filing in. For all of you East Coasters, I'm assuming everybody got a little bit of rain today. We got some in the last couple hours. A couple storms here this afternoon. I'll tell you, we do need the rain, so it's good. Tyler Patterson, what's going on? Doing good. Long day for Monday, but I'm here. Happy to be here. Luis, what's going on? Hope everybody's doing okay on this Monday night. I'm sure people are going to start floating in the next minute or two. That's usually how it works. Please hit that like button when you guys come in too. If you do it as soon as you come in, that's always good. Here we go. Who else we got? Waiting for people to jump into the chat. Been watching some Batman movies. We're ranking the Batman films on the Monsters Den this Thursday, so I've been rewatching all those. So it's been a lot of time doing that. Troy, what's going on? Glad you like the back to school segment. Yeah, it's fun. It's tough. It's tough trying to just limit to 30. Alejandro from Argentina, greetings. Rick Labonte, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Good to see you again. Big Bob. Have I listened to the new Marcus King? No, it literally just came in today. Just got it. Have not listened to it. I got so much new stuff to listen to. Man, you can't even imagine. Homer. Glad to hear him get into clutch. New album. I guess they only released it digitally because my CD is not coming until like the second week in October. So unless it shows up earlier, but it said release date like October 14th or something like that. So maybe it's digital only release right now. So I haven't heard it. I'm waiting until I get the CD. Do I know some Argentinian bands? No, not really. Not really. Yeah, we'll get a Marcus King review at some point, but I've got so much stuff to review. I got a few more to do for Wednesday. Got Blind Guardian, Virtual Symmetry, Lonely Robot, Esthesis, Steve Hackett live, Vanden Plas live. I've got an Impellitteri compilation. I've got 4 new Tedeschi Trucks albums. I've got I've got the Marcus King. So much stuff. Crazy. Lewis, have I seen Porcupine Tree? I have not. I kind of made the decision not to go. Tickets were really expensive. And I've seen them before. I just didn't feel the need to go. There's other stuff I'd rather go to. It just came down to that. I love Porcupine Tree. I like the new album quite a bit. I just didn't feel the need to go see them live. So am I ever going to record my own stuff? Meaning what, like my own music? Yeah, I haven't recorded any original music, anything in like 25 years. So yeah, I don't write stuff and record. I twiddle around on the guitar, and quite frankly, not as much as I'd like to in recent memory. So yeah, no, I'm not recording anything. What else we got here? Yeah, I heard Porcupine Tree were good live. What else? New CCR documentary plus unreleased concert from Royal Albert Hall. Yeah, got to review that too. Just got this in yesterday. CCR, Royal Albert Hall, 1970. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Like I said, I have a ton of new stuff to listen to and review. Captain Beyond, what's going on, my friend? New Animals remaster. I haven't gotten it. Again, there's just so much stuff coming out. I can't get everything. I may get it. I've heard from some people it's amazing. I've heard from some that it's not worth getting. So I don't know. I'm really disappointed there's no like bonus anything on it. It's basically just a remix of the album and nothing else. I don't know. We'll see. I'll make up mine. Knowing me, I'll probably get it at some point, but I'm not running out there to get it right now. Did I get the new Skunk Baxter? I have not. Frank 16. Who else we got? Captain, you weren't impressed? Yeah, that's what I've heard. There's people that are like, oh, it sounds amazing. And I'm like, well, the original album sounds amazing too. And the fact that there's no bonus material doesn't make me want to run out and get it, at least not right now. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Who else we got here? Who else is in the Metal Person? What's going on? Thoughts on the vocal coach reaction phenomenon? I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is, Metal Person Jay. What else? What else? What else we got here? Who else is in the house here? Big Face TV. What do you think the definitive version of Child in Time is? For me, it's the Made in Japan version. Probably. The reason why I say that is because to me, there are only two versions that matter. That one and the in rock version. They're both great. They're both different. Richie's solo on both are completely different and completely legendary. I have been trying to answer that question for the last 40 years. I don't know. I generally lean a little bit towards the live version from Made in Japan, but man, the studio version kills as well. So it's hard to say. Steve Polari, what's going on? Sal, what's going on? David Hare, what's going on? I can't remember. Did you review Steve Hackett's most recent solo album, Surrender of Silence, from David Hare? No, I don't believe it. I never got it. I have like everything of his, but I never got that one. I almost bought it recently, and then I had so much other stuff I put it back. But yeah, I just, you can't review everything, and just there's so much stuff coming out, so I try to get to as much as I can. Bryce Talks Metal. Hey, what's going on, man? Bryce, we need to have you back on the show at some point. Bryce, are you coming to Poughkeepsie in a couple weeks? I never asked you that. Hope to see you at Fall Fest. What else we got going on here? Tyler Patterson, what's going on? David Thompson, what's happening? Yeah, good morning from the UK. That's right. It's middle of the night, right? Middle of the night over by you. Super Strike. What else we got here? IK. Pete just ordered a new one from Cosmograph and bought Marillion new box set again, and PF Animals remix again. Yep, the curse is real, man. The curse is real. Review of Blind Guardians, The God Machine this week. Black Mark, I hope so. I've listened to it twice. I don't know if that's quite enough. So it's right here. Just got it a couple days ago. I kind of feel I might need more time. So you may get it next week. We'll see. If I can at least get 2 or 3 more listens in between now and Wednesday, you might get it. If not, it'll be next week. So it's coming, though. It's coming. I just, like I said, I've gotten a glut of new things in. I've got a stack like this high of new releases that I'm desperately trying to get to, and doing ranking shows and all this other stuff. So, there's only so much time in the day for me to listen to stuff and work and do all this sort of thing. So what else we got here? David Thompson, 1 a.m. can't sleep. Yeah, I know what that's like. Nick, having a late one in the UK, so actually on here live rather than watching chat. Who's your favorite British blues boom guitarist? Clapton, Page, Green, Taylor, Lee, or Kossoff? My favorite... Man, Mick Taylor's the bomb, man. I don't know if he's my ultimate, because Ivan Lee is great. Kossoff was amazing. Peter Green was amazing. Clapton in his heyday was amazing. Clapton's still amazing. Page was great. I don't know. Hard to say. The guy for me with like the sweetest tone, I know most people would go to Peter Green, but man, Mick Taylor, amazing. I don't know. That's a really great question. And right now I'm going to plead the fifth and not give an answer, because I'd have to really think about that. Blackmore's the master of spontaneous improv. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Captain. Hell yeah. Blackmore in his prime, it was unbeatable. Unbeatable. Bryce. Oh, cool. Yeah, let me know if you're going to come. That would be awesome if you're there. What else we got here? Steve Polari, how do you explain the curse to your significant other? Steve, no matter how I try to explain it, she don't get it. So, yeah, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. From Weird Debbie M. Pete, I really love the UK connection, ranking Boston songs. It brought back memories. Yeah, I mean, all three of us have such a connection to that album. And, the first self-titled Boston album is just part of my DNA. It's been such a big part of my life. I know that album, like, almost is better than any other album on the planet. So, yeah, it was great talking about it. It really is. Let's see. Alan, what's going on? Tom Garb, what's going on? Who else we got here? Ron Chislo, what's up, cool cat? Been loving your show for a few years now. Gotta tell you, gotta get to King Gizzard and Lizard. Whoa, hold on. Jeez, I hate when that happens. You're trying to read a comment and then the whole chat just like shifts and you lose your place. Gotta tell you to get into King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Infest the Rates Nest. I know you'll love it. Here's the thing. Because I know my buddy Anthony Ferraro from In the Product Seat, he is a fan of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and he recommended I listen to a couple of their albums, and I don't remember which two that I listened to. I like some of what I heard. I don't like some of what I heard. I'd have to listen more. I don't know. There's some styles that they do that don't really gel with me. Some of it I do kind of dig. So I don't know. So far, what I've heard, I haven't loved. I haven't disliked. So jury's still open on that. Captain, yeah, Mick Taylor's great, right? Yeah, gotta love Mick Taylor. From Big Face TV, what do you think the better Rush epic is? 2112 or Cygnus X1 Book 2? Well, I don't know about better. My favorite, I mean, they're amazing. 2112 is kind of hard to beat. 2112 is kind of hard to beat. So I would lean ever so slightly in favor of that. But man, Cygnus Book 1 or 2, amazing. Let's see. Red Wolf just got Kiss off the soundboard, Des Moines, 1977. I think that should have been Alive 2 that was released back in the day. Have you heard it? I have not. I've talked to a couple people who've heard it, and everybody speaks very, very highly of it, although I've heard a few people say it's not all that different from Alive 2. I don't collect all the soundboard stuff. Like I said, there's just too much stuff out there to get. And, I don't really collect a lot of other Kiss stuff, to be honest with you, other than, the original albums and whatnot. So, yeah, when it comes to Kiss, I know a lot of friends of mine who are Kiss fans, they go and they buy every bootleg and official bootleg and all this stuff that comes out. I haven't done that in a long time with Kiss. But, yeah, I've heard it's very good. From Bradley Y. Hey, Pete, odd question, but imagine you have selected amnesia that only affects the music you listen to and you forgot all of it. Would it affect your rankings after listening to it new? You would have to say perhaps, right? Because a lot of stuff that that's been with you for 40, 50 years, you have a history with, you have a you grew up with stuff. So yeah, if my slate was wiped clean today at age 56 and I had to go and re-listen to all this stuff for the first time, would that affect the way I perceive some of this stuff? I'm sure. Because then all of a sudden, I don't listen to Black Sabbath Paranoid first. I don't listen to Kiss Alive first. Maybe I listen to Animalize first, or maybe I listen to Forbidden first, right? You don't know. So of course it's going to affect you. And now I'm a lot older. So sure, I'm sure it would. Kirill Stefanov. Hey, Pete, what is your favorite AOR band? Have you listened to the new Heat album? I have not. I've heard it's very good. Favorite AOR band? God, there's so many of them. And it depends on what your interpretation of AOR is, right? Because you could say Foreigner's AOR, you could say Journey is AOR, you could say, House of Lords is AOR, right? So Toto's AOR. I don't know. Probably for me, if you can classify them as AOR, Journey for me is probably my favorite melodic rock band of all time, I guess. Hard to say. Let's see what else we got here. John the Dark Wizard, what's going on? How are you? What's going on? For my homer, am I going to see John Petrucci with Mike Portnoy? Perhaps. I'm not sure yet. My brother asked me if I wanted to go to the New Jersey show. I did not give him a definitive answer because everything is happening in October. Literally every other day there's some concert or event or something happening in October, and I'm already stretched pretty thin. So I want to go because it's a great lineup. We'll see. My guess is I'm sure I'll make it to one of those shows, but we'll see. Luca from Croatia, what's going on? Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Oops, hold on. Chat just went flying here. So we got 122 people on here. Do I like the band Wild Horses from Dan Goucher? Yeah, I got 2 Wild Horses CDs. It's good. It's not great. I think that band could have been a lot better because I love Brian Robertson and Jimmy Bain. And could have been a lot better. Jesse Carlson, what's going on? Pete doesn't remember me. Okay. Is it too late for Led Zeppelin and the Police to ever reunite again and also be musically sound well together from Meat and Potatoes? I think the Police already reunited in 2007. I don't think you're going to see that again. And is it too late for Led Zeppelin? Yeah, I think that ship has sailed already. I just don't think Robert Plant is really all that interested. I know the other two guys and Jason Bonham would sign on immediately, but I don't think that's ever going to happen again. Don't think that was ever going to happen again. Let's see. What else we got? Do I remember what King Gizzard albums I heard? I do not. I'd have to go look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's fairly recent stuff, like in the last couple of years, but I don't remember exactly. Yeah, they are really artsy. Let's see. What else we got here? Do I like The Darkness from Dan? No, I do not. I don't dislike them. Put it that way. What I've heard has been okay. Not something I go out and buy or really listen to, but I know a lot of people dig them. So, any shows coming up for you? I don't think I have anything this month, but I've got like Iron Maiden next month. We got Fall Fest in a week and a half, or a little over a week and a half. I've got Merciful Fate and Creator coming up in November. I think, God, when is Blue Oyster Cult? That's coming up in November, I think, as well. I may or may not be able to go to Steve Vai. I was originally going to be going with Eric Porter to see Steve Vai, but then I thought I was going away on a business trip, and now that business trip got postponed and moved to December. So I think I am available for the Steve Vai show. So there's that, and there's something else. I'm drawing a blank. I know there's something else coming up fairly soon. I'm also going to the 24-hour Horathon in Pennsylvania the end of October, so there's that as well. So yeah, there's always something. Always something. All right, let's skip ahead. Did I see Ghost on the recent tour from Darth Vader? I have not, but I've seen Ghost before. They're always fun live, but I heard they were really cool. As always. What else we got here? What else we got here? From You Got to Believe, you're very welcome for all the entertainment. Have you heard of the band Timber? Never heard of them before. No. From Metal Melodies, could we get a re-ranking of Megadeth? I mean, I'm not doing re-rankings now. I have so many other bands to do before I even consider doing re-rankings. And quite frankly, it's only one album that's come out since I did that ranking. So no, there's no plans to do any re-rankings of Megadeth at this point. Let's see. Have you ever read any of Curved Air bassist Phil Catman Cohn's cigar reviews from Flaz? No. Well, I have no interest in cigars, so I don't think I would ever. I don't even know where I would ever hear about that. So no, I have never heard of the book. Haven't read it. Nope. Where else we got? Kiss Alive 2 omitted the songs that already were on Alive 1 off the soundboard, contains the full set. That makes sense. That's pretty cool. I mean, that was the cool thing about both Kiss Alive 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, and I don't know. I never bought 3, to be honest with you. Is that they didn't repeat any songs. So it was just like one kind of continuation, right? Which I thought was really cool. Have I considered doing a Ranking the Albums episode on UFO bassist Pete Way's band Wasted? I haven't. I have the debut, which is great. I think I heard one other. What did they have? 5 albums? I mean, I'm sure at some point I can go and listen to them and do a ranking, but they're not on my immediate list because I just, there's like a couple of albums that I just never ever heard. Right. So first album was great. Love Vice is great stuff. How's the Communic ranking looking from Johnny Crossy? It's looking fine. It's on the list to do. It's not on the schedule as of right now, but I have a long list of ones that I will be getting to in the coming weeks. That's one of them. I just don't know exactly when I'm doing them. Let's see. From Lewis, would I consider doing more episodes on best of a year, like favorites or tops from any given year? Those are great and fun to watch. Well, you'll get, at the beginning of the year, you'll get the 50th, the 40th, and the 30th at the beginning of each year. So that's when I'll be doing that. So we'll be looking at, obviously, 1973 in January and then whatnot. So, 1983, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I mean, I may at some point get back to doing that, like here and there. But I did a lot of that for a while, so I don't like to overdo things too often. But yeah, those are fun, absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, it was a hard ranking, Rick. Joe Bonamassa, all of his albums are just really, really strong and similar to a point. So yeah, that was cool. Let's see. From All Right Fly. Hey, Pete, don't have a question. Just wanted to thank you for getting me into so many new bands. Love last month's segment of 21st Century Must-Hear Bands. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. That was a lot of fun to do, and I was amazed at how many people watched those every day, which was cool. Surprised me. From Lucas Pius. Hey, Pete, what's your opinion on the band Truck Fighters? Never heard him, Lucas. Never heard him. Let's see. Do you like some of the HM Band's Wimp Out albums? From Dan. Dan, I have no idea what you mean. I'm assuming you mean some of the heavy metal band's Wimp Out albums, but I don't know what you mean by Wimp Out albums. So you got to clarify. I don't really know what you're getting at. Let's see. What else? Hold on. What's the loudest concert I ever attended? From Jenny. I've said that many times before. That was a tie between Manowar at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York, back in 88, something like that, 88 or 89, something like that. Gigantor, 2000, 6 or 7 at the Middleton Civic Center. God, that was so loud. And Judas Priest, Deep Purple at Bethel Woods a couple years ago, 2019 or something like that. Those are so loud. My God. Woof. Loud. Is Jamie Laszlo naturally wired? Jamie is exactly as you see Jamie on camera. He's he's on all the time. Jamie's awesome. What are some of my favorite beers? From Nick Usofian. What's up, Nick? I got a ton, man. People always ask me what my favorite beer is. I don't really have like a go-to beer I buy. So I would say probably right now, the last couple of months, my favorite beer is Vorsteiner Pilsner. It's a German beer. It's awesome. That's been my favorite beer for a couple of months. But I got so many favorite beers. I don't really have like, a go-to, but I got a lot of them. Will we get more deep cut videos from the Islanders 91? I don't know. That's kind of like why we're doing this, ranking the songs on classic albums, because we get to talk about the deep cuts on classic albums. So I would say there's not going to be any more of those deep cut shows, at least not in anytime soon. I basically stopped doing them because people stopped watching them. Guys got to understand. I know like every show we do is usually special to someone, but I look at overall views on things we do very, very carefully. And when I see that a series viewership starts to wane and people start to lose interest, I notice those things. And after a while, I say, okay, maybe that's not gaining the attention of the general population here at SOT. And I drop shows in favor of new shows. We do that all the time, just like any TV network, cable network does. You look at ratings and you look at what works and what doesn't. And I realize that some of the stuff that we've dropped, there are going to be people who like them. But I have to look at what's the best use of our time here and our resources, right? So if I see that all of a sudden the show we've been doing for a while now is struggling to get like 1,000 views, and I know to some of you 1,000 may seem a lot, but it's really not compared to everything we do here on SOT, and I see that consistently, that brings up a red flag and says, all right, maybe the interest in viewership is really starting to wane on this, and we need to retire this theme show and bring something else on board. That's what we do. I do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. So, I understand that a lot of people get disappointed when certain shows get canceled, but that's the way it goes, right? Always trying new things. What else we got here? Do you know and listen to the very good metal band Salstafir from Iceland, from Stefan? I might have one of their albums. I'm not all familiar with them. Let's see. What else? From Sophia, do you listen to Inner Wish? I do not. From Rick, Pete is a comic geezer. What is your favorite Marvel movie that was close to the comic book? That was really close to the comic book, Rick? God, almost none of them are that close. Almost none of them are that close. But Jesus, that's a great question. I'd have to think about that because none of them are really all that close. They're all similarities, but none of them are like, wow, that was. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's Watchmen from DC. DC's Watchmen was pretty much scene for scene identical to the comic, other than the last scene of the film. that out of all of them, out of all the hundreds of them that there are, or whatever the number is, that was the one that was so close to the comic. Bravo to that. So there we go. Let's see. How about a clutch ranking from Mike Suarez? Well, I've mentioned it like 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks. You are going to get a clutch ranking. It's not going to come till after I get the new album. I think the digital copy of the new album is out, the digital version, but the CD is not for a couple of weeks yet. So until I get that new one in my hand and I've digested the whole rest of the catalog, because I've gone out recently and bought all the ones that I didn't own. So that's going to take a little while. You're probably not going to see that till maybe late October or something like that. But yeah, that's coming. Let's see. What else? I saw you have a couple of the original album classics box sets. Do they suck, or are they worth getting if you want to discover some new bands? From Luca. No, they're absolutely worth it. You know, what you don't get is you don't get liner notes and you don't get booklets. But if you want to collect, a good chunk of artist catalog, rather than going out and buying all the separate ones. A lot of times when they do those little box sets, those classic album box sets, it means that some or part of the catalog is out of print individually. So yeah, I've got a bunch of those. I don't have an issue with them. It's like, I like liner notes and booklets just like anybody else, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And so they sound fine. And some of them do have bonus tracks on them, like live tracks and stuff like that. So, which is good. They don't like publicize that, but sometimes they don't even say it on the back of the box, but then you go and you pull out the little mini LP replica sleeves and then you say, oh, there's like 5 extra songs on this one. Great. So yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. Let's see. From Dan, who's asking a million questions tonight. Have you ever gone to a show just for the opening band and then left before the headliner came on? I've gone to a couple of those type of shows. Generally speaking, if I am completely not interested in the headliner, I will still stay for a couple of songs. I did that for Meshuggah and Ministry, like 10 years ago. I love Meshuggah. I don't care for Ministry. I stayed for the whole Meshuggah set. I stayed for 2 songs during Ministry, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm out of here. And I went home. So yeah, that's the one time. I don't think I've ever not even stayed for a song of a headliner. Don't think I've ever done that. Let's see. Pete, please do a death metal top 10 video, please. Of all time. Yeah, I could probably do that. I'd want to round up like Ryan Scow or something like that. Maybe Steve Keeler. And maybe a couple other folks, but that's not going to be the most popular video on here. But yeah, that would be kind of cool to do. I think because we've done like top 5 prog albums, top 5 metal albums. I've done. I don't know. I'll think about that. That's pretty cool. I would definitely want to do more like extreme metal type stuff, but those you can't do those all the time because like 80% of our viewers have no interest in that at all. So that's for a very select group here. So but yeah, I like doing the occasional extreme metal thing. Lee Anderson, how come you don't like Pink Floyd's The Wall? Well, I mean, I've talked about that many, many times. I don't dislike it. I just think that it's way overrated and it's too long. And quite frankly, really only about like maybe 5 or 6 songs on it really do much for me. I just find it kind of bloated and quite frankly, kind of boring. The songs that are great on it are great. But for me, if you cut that down to a 40-minute album, I think it'd be much better. That's just me. It's just me. People love it. I know it's a classic, but it's just not one of my favorites. And it doesn't need to be, right? Everybody hears things differently. Let's see. The Eagles screwed over Don Felder. Oh, hold on. This damn chat is ridiculous. We got 200 people on right now. Let's see. Isn't it time for old school punks and metalheads to call a truce and realize how much they really have in common? If you say so. If you say so. Do I have from Flags, do I have a price cutoff point with concert ticket prices? What's the most you would pay for a ticket? Right now, not a ton. I've paid a few occasions in my life, over like $200 for a ticket. That's not something I do normally. I have good friends who have no issues dropping a couple $100 for a ticket to be in like the first couple rows. It's not really me. As long as I'm there and I can see the stage fine and hear it fine, I'm just as happy spending $60 or $80 on a ticket up top or something like that. I don't really care. But yeah, nowadays, if it's, I think my cutoff is like $120 now. I mean, the thing is, I've seen most bands that I ever wanted to see. I've seen already. So for me, I'm not going to spend $150 to go see Iron Maiden, who I've seen a ton of times. Will I spend $80 on Maiden? Yeah, sure. But I've seen just about everybody. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't go to the Porcupine Tree show. It's like, I just want too much money. I'm like, I don't need to spend $100 something to go see Porcupine Tree. Just don't. So, what's my favorite release from 2022 so far from James Couture? I don't know yet. I don't like to generally give out my favorites of the year until the end of the year. Because quite frankly, I don't even know what my favorite is right now. I've got a running list of all, in case you guys are not aware of how I do this. I've been doing it this way for 20 years. During the course of the year, albums that I buy or get sent or whatever that I review that I have rated a 4 out of 5 star or higher. So 4, 4.5 or 5. Okay. I keep a running list of all those during the year. Because to me, anything that's over 4 out of 5 star, that's pretty damn good. So I keep a running list during the year. At the end of the year, I take a look. Okay, how long is this list? I want to do. I got to pick 30 out of this, or my top 20, or my top 50, whatever I decide to do, and I start to whittle stuff off, and I make a choice from there, and then I actually sit and go rank them. So it's not something I know today. Honestly, I'm answering you honestly. I have no idea what my favorite release of the year is. Do I know what some of the ones that I've listened to the most? Do I know what that short list is? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not divulging right now, though. So you have to wait and see. We're not that far off from the end of the year. I generally speaking, it's difficult because, I look at a couple different things. What was the one I rated the highest? And then what were the ones that I listened to the most? Because to me, generally speaking, my favorites usually, what album or albums did I listen to the most? Because sometimes you can give an album 4 out of 5 star and another one that gets 5 out of 5, it's absolutely perfect, but you wind up liking the 4 out of 5 more for different reasons other than it's perfect musically. Like I have stuff that perfectly, it's just the way that the album is structured, everything is just perfect. But I still like that one a little bit more that's not quite as perfect. It resonates more with me. So I put a lot of stock in replay value, if that makes any sense. Let's see. All right, let's skip ahead here. We've got a million questions here. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, I know, Sal. I mean, that's just how the way I operate. So it's Marty Martin, what's going on? Traveling to gigs and paying big money is a lot of hassle, especially in a stadium or big arena. I prefer theaters now. 100%, Marty. You know what was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back for me? I went to see the Rolling Stones a few years back, a year or two before the pandemic, and they played at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, East Rutherford, New Jersey, the old Giant Stadium place. And I thought the entire evening I was annoyed and aggravated over one thing or another, and it had nothing to do with the band. It had everything to do with like the way people acted around me, from the parking lot to inside, how people just disrespect themselves and each other, and just nobody just gives a shit about anybody else but themselves. Rudeness like you would not believe. Like the attitude is like, well, I paid X amount of money to be here. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I don't care what you think. And that was the entire day. And I was like, I spent $110 or whatever it was on a ticket. I spent gas to get down there. I spent like $50 to park there. It was just a whole day. And I was like, I don't need this shit. And I just didn't enjoy myself. Didn't enjoy myself at all. I love the Stones, but I didn't really enjoy that show at all. But what I like is I like going to a little 1,000, 1,500 seat theater, old school, like movie theater type of place. Love stuff like that. Even the Beacon Theater in New York City holds like 2,000 or 3,000 people. I love that stuff. These big, gigantic 50,000 people, I have no use for that anymore. Even like the 20,000 seaters are kind of pushing it for me. Those aren't too bad. But man, anything bigger than that, I really have no interest in anymore. No interest anymore. Let's see. How about a favorite tour programs episode? Dennis, I don't think I have enough of them. I have all the old ones that I have. I've already shown on the channel many times before in past episodes. I don't really have that many. I was never a big tour programs guy. I have like maybe a dozen, if that. I never really bought a lot of them. I was more interested in buying shirts for whatever reason. Are there any albums that you're hoping get a 50th anniversary? Off the top of my head, nothing that springs to mind. I'd have to go like look at the ones that are turning 50 next year and see, which ones would really make sense. But, the problem is I bought so many of these albums over and over and over and over and over again. It gets to the point where it's like, what else are they going to be able to come up with to give us something special? It's just like, I can't, I'm at the point where I've already bought some of these albums 4, 5, 6 times. It's like, enough already. Let's see. Disco versus grunge versus Garth Brooks. Who do you think did the most damage? From Jim Thick. Damage good or damage bad? I don't know. I mean, some good things came out of grunge, right? The grunge came and went. The problem is disco came and went pretty quick. Grunge came and went pretty quick. Garth Brooks has been around forever. So, I don't know. Top 10 worst live shows from Bob Droll. Well, you got to go watch our worst live concert shows. We did a whole bunch of them. Jason from Barbados, what's going on? Super Strike, Stevie Ray Vaughan live. Yeah, I saw Stevie 3 times, something like that. Saw him with Jeff Beck not long before he died, which was great at Madison Square Garden. I saw him really early on at Poughkeepsie at a small little venue, the Manhattan Civic Center. I could tell he was really wasted, but he was great. Yeah, he was always good live. Always good live. From Ninja Badger, how long do you think physical media will survive for? Hopefully a long time. It's not going anywhere. They can say all they want, and there's physical media is not going anywhere. As long as we're all alive, it's not going anywhere. If tomorrow all of us over 40 got wiped off the earth, then they probably would stop. But you know what? As long as we're here, not going anywhere. Let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, Alice's Chains is still going strong. Robo Q Man, of course they are. They're overdue for an album, aren't they? Jeez. How are things going with my new dog? She's doing good. She's doing good. She's going to be 12 weeks. She's like not quite 25 pounds. She's a handful, but she's really intelligent, really cool. It's been kind of a challenge getting our other 3 dogs, who are all older, to get along with her. Our youngest husky, Tala, who you guys have seen on the channel many times, she gets along with her fairly well. She plays with her a lot, but she's only tolerant up to a point. The other 2, Nuka and Maya, want nothing to do with her. But they're like, 10 and 12, right? So it's not surprising. Let's see. Is seeing the 50th anniversary Close to the Edge tour with Yes worth it? From Bum Diddy. I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of done seeing Yes. After the last time I saw them on that tour they did with Asia and Carl Palmer and John Lodge, I was like, you know what? I don't think I need to see Yes anymore, because I'm just not enjoying them live anymore. What I did enjoy was going to see John Anderson and the what are they called? I forget the name. The School of Rock. The kids playing with him, doing Close to the Edge 50th anniversary. I saw them a couple months ago. That was amazing. That I really enjoyed. As for seeing Yes, I'm not really. I'm kind of done with going to see Yes live. I think at this point, I just, man, I don't know. There's just no fire, no energy. I don't know. It's just not Yes to me anymore for some reason. I've tried. I've seen them a lot in recent years. I just don't want to go anymore. I just, when I go to see a band that I love, and I walk. In fact, the last time I saw them, I walked out before the show was even over. I was bored to tears, and I was like, man, this is sad that I can't even sit through an entire Yes concert. It's bad, no good. What else we got? What are my thoughts on Bathory from Meat Juice? I like all Bathory I've heard. Bathory is one of those bands that I've always been aware of, but I've just never collected any of this stuff. Again, there's thousands of bands. And I've got, just when you think you have so much music, I mean, I've got, you guys know, I've got like what, 8, 9, 10,000 CDs. Just when you think you have everything, there's so many bands that a lot of other people are into that you don't have. I don't even own one Bathory album, believe it or not. But everything I've ever heard, I've really liked. I'm sure one day I'm going to be like, I need to just go out and buy a bunch of Bathory albums. And I'll probably do that. I just haven't, to this day, I haven't done Let's see. I hate people talking the entire concert. If you want to talk, just stay home. Oh my God, that drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. When Eric Porter and I went to see Martin Barr from Jethro Tull back earlier this year, we were sitting next to a couple, and she talked to her husband the entire time. And I'm like, why the fuck did you come here? It's like, if all you want to do is stay home, and the people texting the entire concert, or the people who go to a concert and they have to film the entire thing, and they're watching it through their phone. Hello, the band's over there. Stop looking at it through your phone. It's just crazy to me, And then the people who go to a concert and they want to stand in front of you the whole night and dance. It's like, God, it's like, if you want to do that, you should have got to take it down the floor area where everybody else is doing that. Not sitting in front of me. I want to sit down because I'm old, damn it. Right. Daniel Newberry, was I ever a big bootleg collector? No, was never a big bootleg collector. I have lots of boots and stuff, but it's not my thing. Never really was. I have plenty of friends who are, though, but yeah. Let's see. How many times in a row can you listen to a single song that you really like from Steve Walker? It depends. You know when I do it? In the car or at the gym. I've done it more at the gym than anything else. Sometimes I'll listen to a song that I love, and I'll be like, and I'm in a good workout, and I'm like I did it. I was just talking about it on the UK Connection the other day. A couple months ago, I was at the gym and I was listening to "Don't Look Back," the second album by Boston, and I love "A Man I'll Never Be." My favorite song on that album. It's one of my favorite Boston songs. I listened to it 3 times in a row. I was like, oh my God! But I'll do that from time to time. I don't do it that often. Don't do it that often where I'll replay. In fact, I also did it. I did it in the car just yesterday. I was listening to the new remaster, the reissue of Scorpions Tokyo tapes, and I listened to Polar Nights twice in a row. Coming back from, I was in town running some errands. So yeah, so I do it occasionally. I don't do it that often. What else we got here? From Zappa 21786. Agreed that talking shit is beyond annoying. You paid good dollars for the ticket and wasted by missing half the damn show by talking. But you know what the thing is? A lot of the people who do stuff like that, the way they think is like, but I paid good money to be here. I can do what I want here. That's the way they think. Instead of thinking that other people paid to listen to and watch the performance, right? Because we paid money for that, not to listen to them. They think, well, I paid money to be here. I can do what I want. I can get up and dance. I can puke. I can talk. I can laugh. I can be on my phone. I paid money to be here. It's like, you paid money to watch a performance, not to do shit that you would do at home. So my opinion is like, if you're going to do this, if you want to do that, you should have stayed home and just watched the YouTube video. All right. Because we're all here watching and listening to the band, which you obviously aren't. Yeah, it drives me nuts. That's, maybe I'm old, maybe I'm cranky, but man, it's just, you're there to see a band, right? And listen and watch the bands. What else we got here? Bob went to a talk show and the crowd was silent, as they should be, right? From Sal, what other musical instrument besides the guitar would you like to try or have tried because of an inspirational musician's instrumental performance? Sal, you know the answer to this question. I would have loved to at some point to learn how to play keyboards so I could play a Hammond B3 organ. That I would love. But there ain't no way I'm learning at this point in my life. From Anthony Bombery, Pete, I just bought Kiss Creatures and CD with outtakes. Won't get it till I think October. And I Love It Loud t-shirt. Looking forward to that. Oh, that's the box set. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. I wonder if they're going to have a lot of cool bonus stuff on there. God, another box set. Oh my God. But yeah, I've heard it. I heard it's supposed to be pretty good. All right, 2 cool questions here back in a row. Jerry C., do you have a memorable Whitesnake concert that stands out? Yeah, I mean, every time stands out. I have a couple. The first time I saw them, they opened for Motley Crue. This was on the 87 tour. Motley Crue, I guess, had Dr. Feelgood at the time. And this was the tour. They had Vivian Campbell and Adrian Vandenberg and Tommy Aldridge, Rudy Sarzo. They blew Motley Crue off the face of the earth that night. I know all the Motley Crue fans are going to be like, no way that never happened. It happened. It was at Nassau Coliseum, the Meadowlands. I remember where I saw that. Maybe I saw both. I don't remember. The other time is my wife and I saw Whitesnake on the Purple tour, not that long ago at Trump Plaza down in Atlantic City, and My wife and I got completely trashed and had a great time, and I sang every damn old school Purple song like a kid. I was like in tears. I was loving it. When are you going to hear, Stormbringer live and, Keep on Moving and all? You're never going to hear this stuff, right? So that was awesome. From Mike M, have you seen Candlemass live? Yes, I saw Candlemass at the at L'Amour's in Brooklyn on, I believe, the first tour with Messiah. So that was either the Nightfall tour or was it the Ancient Dreams tour? I'm going to say it was Nightfall because it was shortly, like maybe within a year after that came out. That was amazing. Never saw them again after that. I would like to, but definitely like to see them again. What else? What else? What's my opinion on Cathedral? Well, Super Strike 9, you should go watch my ranking the albums of Cathedral. I'm a big Cathedral fan. Go check it out. What else? Michael Horton, thank you so much. Have I heard the Australian prog band Carnival? Yes, I have. Good band. Good band. I don't have a lot of their stuff. I don't even know how many albums they have out, but yeah, good band. From Meat Juice, what Hammond organ bands that aren't Deep Purple or Uriah Heep would you recommend checking out? Oh, check out Fuzzy Duck. Check out, God, there's so many great Hammond organ bands. There's a ton. I mean, there's so many bands that utilize Hammond organ, not necessarily in the great way that that Purple and Heap do, but check out Blind Golem. Sorry, Blind Golem is really, really good. They're a fairly newer band. There's a ton of really great Swedish bands that utilize Hammond organ. That's a good question. There's so many. Yeah, I heard Roxy Music was great at the Garden recently. I heard that too. Yeah, Jimmy Smith, definitely great. If you like jazz, old school jazz, man, Jimmy Smith was the man. Let's see. Alex Carrillo, yeah, Ekelund supposedly has a new album in the works. I don't know exactly when it's coming out. Don't know when it's coming out, though. Jason Markle. So Pete sings loud at a Whitesnake concert while wasted, but doesn't like anyone else doing it. No, that's not what I said. I said talking during a concert, not singing along to the music. I don't have an issue with people singing to the music because then you're watching and you're participating. It's when the band is playing and you're like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't mind people singing. That's what we're there to do. Watch the band sing, get into it. I have no issue with that at all. It's talking that has nothing to do with what's going on stage. That's what I don't like. Let's see. What else? Did I ever date Brooke Shields? Let's see. Yvonne from Mexico, what's going on? Would Presto Ballet be one for the Hammond? Yeah, Presto Ballet, Kurt Vanderhoof's other band, they have a lot of Hammond in their music. Yeah, for sure. Old School Sticks has a lot of Hammond. Looking forward to Ozzy's new album review. Yeah, it's coming up on Wednesday. What band is my biggest guilty pleasure that you don't freely admit to listening to? I've freely admitted all my guilty pleasures. So, ABBA, Prince, what else? The Bee Gees, I fully admit that stuff. I don't have an issue with doing stuff like that. I was driving my wife's car today because I took her car to get a inspection, and she had Lady Gaga playing in the car, and I don't mind her either. I don't mind Madonna. I don't regularly go out and listen to that stuff, but when I hear it, I totally get into it. I don't mind it. What else? Clark Herman, what are your thoughts on Max Webster? Just like the other question, I ranked the full catalog of Max Webster, so go watch the ranking the albums of Max Webster to find out. I love Max Webster, so yeah. Let's see. Douglas Dorman got kicked out of a Rush concert for being too loud. Really? That's interesting. Let's see. Alex Carrillo, what have you been listening to a lot of recently? Also, I saw Mr. Bill Bruford's latest interview from the induction of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The dude's a fucking genius. What have I been listening to a lot of recently? A lot of everything. I've been listening to, well, we ranked the albums of Joe Bonamassa and All Them Witches recently. I've been listening to a ton of them, listening to a lot of King Buffalo and Earthless lately. I've been listening to a lot of Tom Petty lately. I've been listening to a lot of Clutch lately. I've been listening to a ton of new albums lately by all sorts of different bands. So yeah, you name it, I've been listening to it lately. So much stuff. So much stuff. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. What were my thoughts on the Them Crooked Vultures album? God, I haven't heard that in ages. Yeah, I kind of thought that was pretty good, but you know what? I never thought it was good enough to buy. I know a lot of people really love it. I liked it, but you can't buy and own everything. So yeah. From Dan, have I listened to Danny Gatton? Yes, I have a bunch of Danny Gatton albums, actually. That man was talented. Holy cow. One of the saddest stories ever. From iHomer, when will you finally take the plunge into the tragically hip? I don't know, man. Every time I go to listen to this stuff, it doesn't do anything for me. I know so many folks from Canada are like, I can't believe you listen to all these Canadian bands and you don't listen to the tragically hip. Can't like everything. What I heard didn't do the damn thing for me. It's just could be one of those bands that just isn't for me. Have I seen Journey live in recent years from GIF 82? Oh, yeah, tons. Yeah. They saw a Journey tribute band with them, and they liked the tribute band better. Yeah, but the tribute band doesn't have Neil Schon or Arnel Pineda. I still think Journey puts on a great show. I've seen them a lot. And over the last decade, I've probably seen Journey 4 or 5 times. So, yeah. From Bill Phelps, what do I think of T-Rex? I mean, I have a T-Rex compilation. I like some of their stuff. I don't like some of their other stuff. It's one of those bands. It's like, they're okay. I'm not a big fan. Thoughts on the new Threshold songs? I have not listened to the new Threshold songs. I know they're working on a new album. Just so you guys know, and I've said this many times, I tend to not, when they release these pre-release songs and singles before an album comes out, I tend to not listen to a lot of them. I would prefer to listen to the album in its entirety when it comes out. I occasionally will listen to new songs here and there before an album comes out, but for the most part, my general rule of thumb is that I don't. Sometimes if it's a band I really, really love and I'm so freaking curious, I might do it. But generally speaking, I don't. So no, I haven't listened to any of the Threshold songs. I'll probably just wait for the album to come out. Good band. Let's see. John Mayall is indeed a legend, Tommy Mayer. Yeah, Michael Schenker. Love Mr. Schenker. Let's see. What else we got here? Isn't it strange AC/DC haven't toured yet since things opened up? Well, my guess is when AC/DC releases another album, you might see them tour again. I don't know. AC/DC is very good about timing these things. They are very calculated when it comes to that. So when AC/DC is going to be doing a big tour, they're going to make sure that no other big artist is going to be touring at the same time. They want to come out and they want to get all the attention and get all the dollars and all the fans coming to their shows. That's the way AC/DC works. So my opinion on that, they didn't do it this summer, maybe next summer. Any old concert scrapbooks to share from Bob Droll? Well, I've shown it many times. I have a gigantic binder, scrapbook, whatever you want to call it, that's got all of my ticket stubs. I've shown it many, many times on the various UK Connection shows where we've done like concert memories. And I've even done like all sorts of like concert experiences shows solo in years past. So yeah, that book has seen has been shown many, many times here on the channel. Any chance of a primordial ranking from Red Devil 98? Possibly. I would have to get Nick Franco and Ryan Scow together for that. Possibly, because I think I pretty much have everything they've ever put out. So, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Have I listened to any Roky Erickson? I have not. Do you still refer to that previous community post for a new show ideas? Alex, I have many times. We've actually gone through that quite a lot, but I have not gone through it in a couple of months. A lot of the comments in that were things that we've already done in various iterations of, but we did get a bunch of ideas from that. Yes. When is the new Dio documentary coming to theaters? I don't know. Don't know the exact date on that. Let's see. Your thoughts on the guitar playing tone of Brian McLeod of Canadian group Headpins. I've never listened to Headpins, so I have no idea. What is the most disappointing concert I ever attended? Dream Theater, The Astonishing at Radio City Music Hall. Do I think Joe Bonamassa does not look rock and roll enough? I think Joe Bonamassa looks perfectly fine the way he does. You don't need to have long hair and wear jeans to rock. All right. Because quite frankly, I cut my hair and I still rock. So yeah, Joe looks perfectly fine. Joe looks different. Different is fine. You know, all I care about, I don't really give a shit what Joe looks like. Joe can play guitar. That's all I care about. Let's see. Have I seen the new King Crimson documentary? I have not. What else? Richard Stein, what's going on? Bill Phelps, I have no opinion on Kevin Ayers. Let's see. Last year, you had a monthly segment of listing favorite bands alphabetically. How about doing one for albums? That would be fun. Alphabetically? God, that's a lot of albums. We'll see. That's a lot to sift through, man. Let's see. Tom Petty is great. The debut and Damn the Torpedoes are great albums. Breakdown is my favorite Tom Petty song. Yeah, you know what? That's one of the Tom Petty is one of those artists that whenever I heard him on the radio, always liked it. Never bought any of his albums. Had like for the longest time a really good 2-disc greatest hits compilation, which every freaking radio song and then some were on that. And I was like, I don't need to own any of his albums because everything's on there. And then I just got this bug that maybe I should go check out because I always liked Damn the Torpedoes, right? Even though I never owned it, I remember when this came out back in the day, and I was like, so I went and picked this up. I got a couple others, and then I'm like, there's a lot of great deep tracks on this. And then I got the bug. I'm like, I probably should do a Tom Petty ranking. So I just went and ordered all the CDs. I got all of them now, so I've been trying to listen to all those. And a lot of really good stuff on them. Yes, some are a little too kind of rootsy Americana for my taste, but quite a lot of them are really, really strong and have some really good material on them. So yeah, let's see. Have I ever listened to the Faceless, specifically Planetary Duality? Oh yeah, Faceless are good, really, really good technical extreme metal. Good band. Haven't heard anything from them. Are they still together? That seems like over a decade ago. Like a long time ago. Thoughts on Michelangelo Bazzio joining Manowar? Has he? When did this happen? That's crazy. Talented player, but man, that's like ultimate shred right there. That's interesting. I had not heard that. Let's see. Love a channel based partly on your recommendation. I went to see Earthless in Brooklyn last week. Great live band. Awesome, Sean. I wish I could have gone. Earthless are great. In fact, I'm talking to Isaiah Mitchell, the guitar player, and we're going to get him on the SOT sooner rather than later. So stay tuned for that. He's busy on tour right now, but yeah, that's definitely looking forward to talking to him. Let's see. Alex, when I blast Gentle Giant, my girlfriend tells me to shut it off. Well, Gentle Giant's not for everybody. From Dan, are you big on Springsteen, Dylan, Joni, etc.? Well, you should know the answer to Dylan. I've only made fun of Dylan on this channel for 8 years. I like Springsteen. Joni Mitchell, I mean, I have like her great jazz fusion live album. I've never really gotten anything else by her. She's kind of an acquired taste, but I like some of the jazzier stuff. Yeah, Dylan is not for me. Not really a John Mellencamp fan either. CA, thank you so much. Clark Herman, thank you. I lost my dad last December. He froze to death in a dugout after crashing his tractor while intoxicated. He was a deadbeat drunk. Listening to my favorite music helped me overcoming his death. Sorry to hear that, Clark. That's a terrible story. Hope you're doing okay. Thank you so much. Let's see. Mr. Pardo, did you get my email regarding the location of the BOC gong from Edge of Breakup? I do not remember seeing an email from anybody about a BOC gong. Sorry. How about some Virgin Steel? I listened to a little bit of Virgin Steel way back in the day. Haven't heard any of their stuff in decades. Let's see. What else we got here? What is the show or article you are most proud of? Well, as far as articles go, I did a great interview, like a written interview that I did with Frank Marino years and years and years and years ago on the website, probably like 2001 or 2002. Always very proud of that. As far as interview here or show on here that I'm really, really proud of. Sometimes you get done doing a show and you like Martin Popoff and I did that XTC album ranking. We both got done with that one. We were like, wow, that was pretty special. There was a Miles Davis show that Chuck Alvarez and Andy Edwards and I did back again a few months back, or maybe it was early this year or late last year. And when we got done, we all kind of looked at each other and were like, wow, that was pretty special. So you get those kind of moments where you're like, you get done and you're like, wow. And not, there are other episodes we do where there was so much fun, you get done, you're like, man, that was such a great time. But then there are the ones where the discussion is so amazing that you get done and you're like, holy shit. Like we did an episode recently on 4 Fusion Friday that, we got done and the conversation was so cool. We had the guitar player from Kick the Cat on with us, and man, we got done and we all like kind of looked at each other. We was talking about Alan Holdsworth, and we're like, man, that was a special show for the discussion, right? So there are lots of times where you feel that something really special happened. Sometimes it's laughs and camaraderie, and sometimes it's like the discussion was so great. Man, when I did that 2-part interview with Dennis DeYoung from Styx, I got done with that. I was like, that was awesome. That was great TV. When I talked to Steve Lukather, got done with that. I was like, man, he's such a wacko wild man, but that was such a great chat, So sometimes that happens. Doesn't always. Sometimes I have these shows with some of these rock stars and I get done and I'm like, that was all right. Nothing great. And sometimes I get off and I'm like, man, that was really cool. They're just like us, right? So yeah, it's a lot of good moments. A lot of good moments. From Alex, I've seen many prog greats on this channel, Steve Hackett, Derek Schulman, etc. Any other greats you plan on getting on the show? A lot of these things just kind of happen. There's a lot of people I would love to talk to, but just because I want to talk to them doesn't mean they want to come on here, right? So, my ultimate goal is to get Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath on this channel. That's my ultimate goal. But there's a lot of the people I want to talk to. But I kind of take these opportunities as they come. It's very rare. There are some people that I go and hunt, and like Mike Portnoy is a perfect example. I wanted Mike Portnoy on this channel because I knew he would be an asset to what we do here. And damn, I've done like 5 or 6 shows with Mike Portnoy. Maybe it's a little bit more. And every time he knocks it out of the park. The time he and I did the show where we talking our favorite double albums, that was gold, right? And I chased after Mike for a while. Okay, Jim Bakke helped me get Mike on the channel, and then Mike and I have now been, we talk to each other one-on-one. So it's like, but yeah, there's always going to be people I want to get on. Like Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, I chased after him for years. All right, finally happened, right? So sometimes I got to do the work. Sometimes they reach out to me, right? So it's, Dennis DeYoung wanted to be on this channel, right? I chased after Rob Halford. I chased after Dee Snider. I chased after Dee Snider, and then he kind of blew me off and then canceled and rescheduled. And I said, you know what? He's obviously too busy to talk to me right now. You tell Dee when he's ready to talk to me to come find me. And then like 3 months later, they were chasing me down to get on the show. So, let's see. From the smallest flame, I predicted SOT would surpass 100K subs by the end of the year. Still hoping that prediction comes true. You know what? It's probably not going to happen. We do about 1,000 subs a month. I'd love it to be higher. So realistically, we'll be at 80 fairly soon. If we make it to 90, we won't make it to 90. We'll probably make it to like maybe the low 80s. Would I like to get there quicker? Sure. But, it's believe it or not, this is really funny. I get all the analytics for the channel. We have about 1 million people who visit this channel a month, or we get 1 million views, I should say. Of that, there are like roughly 250,000 to 300,000 unique visitors. Okay. Of all those visitors, it's a very small portion that actually click on that subscribe button. That's the key. A lot of people come and watch and they never subscribe. And I've seen comments like, oh yeah, I've been watching for a couple of years, but I haven't yet subscribed. Like, why not? What difference does it make? I don't understand why people are afraid to click on a subscribe button. It's almost like they think they're going to be, well, if I subscribe, I'm going to get spammed, or no, you just help us out. The more people that subscribe, the more YouTube pushes our videos out there. Subscribers, likes, clicking the like button, and comments are what drive the YouTube algorithm. So I just don't understand these like 100,000 people or more actually who come to SOT to watch content every day and every month and never click the subscribe button. I don't understand why not. You would think if it's a channel you frequent, you like, you want to help them out by subscribing, you want to click the notification bell so you get alerted every time we post a video so you don't miss anything. But people are holding back and then they complain that, oh, I didn't know this video was on. I missed when you did this. Or they ask, when do you do a video on this? Well, I did it the other day. How come, if you watch all the time, how come you didn't know that? Because they don't subscribe. I can't understand why. I don't get it. But, it's just, it's crazy. Oh, I only want to subscribe to like 5 YouTube channels. Well, what difference does it make? You can hit the subscribe button and never come back, because a lot of people do that. You'll go and you'll see they're subscribed to like 1,000 YouTube channels. They don't watch any of them, right? But if you come back and you watch, hitting the subscribe button makes sense. I don't know. I don't understand sometimes, but whatever. That's just me. Let's see. So yeah, as far as hitting 100,000 by the end of this year, probably not. That's probably a 2023 thing. Dennis, yes, I've already mentioned about a half hour ago, I'm reviewing the new Ozzy album on Wednesday. Let's see. I own Can't Buy from Clark Herman. I own Can't Buy a Thrill and Countdown to Ecstasy. What's the next Steely Dan album I should get? I would probably say, well, you should have Asia. You should have them all, actually. Pretzel Logic is great. They're all great. Just get whichever one you can get. Get your hands on all of them. They don't have that many. Buy them all. Buy them all. And every Steely Dan album is amazing. Would it be impossible for you to pick your favorite album of all time? No. I've done a video on the channel here where I pick my favorite albums of all time. Go watch it. I know what my favorite album of all time is. I've said it many times. Yeah, The Royal Scam, of course. The Royal Scam is my favorite Steely Dan album of all time. You got to have that. Steely Dan, Asia, Pretzel Logic, all great Steely Dan albums. Every Steely Dan album is absolutely worth having. Who are some bands you feel should quit touring so they don't damage their legacy? Well, I mean, I haven't seen them on this last long tour. By all sounds of it, it sounds like Kiss needs to just call it a day at this point. Maybe it's time for Aerosmith to stop at this point. There's probably a lot of bands that need to stop touring, but I think Yes needs to stop touring enough already. But you know what? They want to make a living. There's nothing. You can't stop them, right? Can't stop them. Katie Lied, another great Steely Dan album. Yeah, they're just all so great. All so great. Let's see. Some from Robert. I am a person who doesn't listen to a show when it's a genre I don't like. I am narrow in my likes of genres. I did try most bands Pete did last month, and maybe 2 I liked. What can I tell you, Robert? What can I tell you? I guess my question for Robert is like, how many shows do you actually watch? Because I based on some comments I've seen for you, it sounds like you have very, very narrow types of music that you listen to. And we cover so much wide stuff on here. So I sometimes get the impression that you really don't like a lot of the stuff we talk about on here. So, and you're not the only person. I've seen other people that say similar things. So I always wonder, well, what is the appeal then? Because we cover tons of metal, we cover tons of prog and classic rock and hard rock and fusion. And I got some people come on here and they don't listen to any of that stuff. And I'm like, well, what do you watch for then? It's like, we're not going to do shows on REM, and we're not going to do shows on, Foo Fighters and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It puzzles me sometimes, but if you enjoy the personalities and you enjoy the camaraderie in the chats and things like that, that's cool too, because we do have a cool community here. There are a lot of people who come here who they don't really get a lot of the stuff that we talk about, but they just like being here. And I guess that's fun, right? To me, it seems like there's something missing there, right? You would think that you would like more stuff. And I'm not trying to pick on anybody here. It's just I'm trying to understand, and sometimes I just don't. Let's see. Ranking the albums of Steven Wilson. Yeah, I'm sure at some point. Sometimes with the newer, some of these newer bands, because they pump out stuff so quickly, you do a ranking and then like 3 months later they have a new album out. So it's like, with Steven Wilson, I've kind of held off, although, maybe if he decides to stick with Porcupine Tree for a while, we can probably play catch up and do the Wilson ranking. Will there be another jazz show with Mike Antonelli? I hope so. Mike has not been overly interested in doing anything on YouTube stuff for a while, although he and I did talk recently, and he does seem interested in doing like, you know, some sort of show. All right. So we'll see. A John Coltrane show is kind of what we talked about. So we'll see. We'll see. Mike's the best. I'll let Mike. Would you like to see a Marsden, Moody, Coverdale, Whitesnake lineup doing a tour? I would love that. It's not going to happen, but I would love that. I would love that. Let's see. What else? Who wants to see Hudson Valley Squares rank best TV live performances? Let's see. I know you did a Hudson Valley Squares on this topic a while back, but what's your favorite music documentary? Well, my favorite is the Woodstock film of all time. Love it. Absolutely love it. Thoughts on 6x6 Supergroup? You know what? I heard one song. I know I need to check out the whole album. The one song didn't do much for me, but I do need to check it out. Again, there's just a million things to listen to. And this Frontier stuff, man, these Frontiers albums come out like every other day. So it's like almost impossible to keep up with all these, like, you know, supergroup projects that they keep pumping out. It's crazy. Terry walked there. I dislike a lot of your favorites, and surely you would dislike some of mine, but it's fun to meet in the middle. Well, I mean, we can't all like the same stuff, right? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I get so many people who get upset about because I pick the favorites that I do, and you know, I mean, you guys can't believe some of the emails I get. I got an email from this dude who watches the channel who is like an enormous Emerson, Lake and Palmer fan, and apparently doesn't like anything else. So like anytime I do like these lists and things where I list my favorite bands or favorite live albums or favorite keyboard players or bassists or drummers or whatever, and if I don't have either an Emerson, Lake and Palmer at the top of the list, or I don't have one of the individual guys at the top of the list for their instrument, he feels the need to send me an email to tell me how much Kiss sucks and how much Black Sabbath sucks and how much I suck because I don't rate Emerson, Lake and Palmer as high as he does. And I'm like, seriously? You just spent probably a half hour writing this email to me, and that's what you're going to complain about? Why should I like all the same stuff exactly the way you do? I like Emerson, Lake and Palmer a lot. Doesn't mean they have to be at the top of my list on every single thing that I talk about here. And it doesn't mean that I need to do every single show on ELP. I don't understand that, guys. You know, we all like things differently. We all have our favorite albums from certain bands. You know, I say that this is my favorite album, and then someone's like, oh, you're a dick. There's no way that album is better than this album. It's not about better. It's the one I like the most. You can like whatever you like. We don't have to have the same likes and dislikes. It's just the way it works. And if you think otherwise, you got issues, right? Yeah, Nick, he was a total schmuck. Absolutely. Music snobs are the worst. No, it's not even music snobs. It's like people, they like one band, that's it, and nothing else is good enough, right? It's just crazy. Yeah, he's definitely a troll. Yeah, and I did block him. How about ranking Joe Satriani albums? Possibly. He's got a ton of albums. I don't have all of them. There's a few 2000 era albums I don't have. I got like all the original ones. I have a couple of the more recent ones. Again, just so many albums. I am planning a Steve Vai ranking in the not too distant future. I was going to do it, a couple of months ago. The new album came out, so I got to circle back around. Let's see. Any thoughts on the Good Rats? I have their Good Rats classic live album, which is really good. I don't have anything else. Good band. Will I ever interview a younger reaction YouTuber video? No. All right, let's just get this out there. I have no interest in these reaction videos. If you want my opinion, most of these people who do these reaction videos, they are getting millions of people to watch them sit and comment on music that they've never listened to before and probably never will listen to her again, just because people think it's funny. And these kids are probably making shitloads of money, right, doing this sort of thing, just like they make a lot of money playing video games on YouTube, and millions of people watch and subscribe. And these kids are never know what's going to be like to work a real job, right? I just sit and play video games and I make, $10,000 a month. It's the same thing with all these reaction videos. Everybody thinks they're so cute and they're funny, like that husband and wife team. I'm sure they're nice people. Like, oh, we're going to listen to this crazy prog album. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, it's just silly to me. I don't get it. I watched a couple of these, I forget, Weeaboo Reacts. He was one of the first that was really doing it a lot, like 2 years ago. And I remember watching a couple of his videos for a couple of weeks. And then after that, I was kind of like, all right, this is kind of ridiculous. I don't get the appeal of this anymore. It was funny for a couple of videos, whoa, shit, did you hear that? Damn, whoa, shit. Whatever, it's just no. So no, I have no plans to get reaction video YouTubers on here. All right, for what? No, it's not my thing. No interest whatsoever. Have I heard the new Mars Volta record? Nah, they don't really do a lot for me, to be honest with you. I had all their earlier albums. I got rid of all of them. I just couldn't get into them. Let's see. What else? Is Ghost coming your way? They already came. I didn't go. I like Ghost, though. I just too much other stuff going on. So the Smallest Flame says, I like the reaction channels because it allows me to share my experiences band with others. Nobody in my family likes the same music, and I have very friends with the same taste. But are you actually doing a reaction channel, or are you just watching reaction people? I honestly, I don't see the appeal of it. So in other words, so the people in the comments are sharing how much they like the songs, right, or the albums. And I don't know. I just don't see the appeal. But yet the people who are on camera, who are on the YouTube channel, they've never heard these bands before. They likely will never listen to them again. So it's like, I just don't understand what the point is. That's why I think what we do is a little more real, because we're talking about stuff that we know, that we like, that we have passion for, that we have knowledge of. And then everybody in the comments also shares in their knowledge and passion of it. We can all talk like adults about stuff we know. See, my problem with these YouTubers who do reaction videos is they don't know shit about the music or the bands. So it's not like they're going to converse with you in the comments. They have nothing to share. All they know is they listen to it once in front of a camera. They're like, oh, did you hear that? Wow. Oh, cool. Yeah, whatever. So, sorry, that's my opinion. It does absolutely nothing for me. Absolutely nothing for me. What else? Clark, when I met David Ellison, he told me Mike Portnoy and James LaBrie don't get along. Did you know that? They have had a kind of strained relationship, but I understand they're kind of working on that. So you can't get along with everybody. Not all guys from big bands get along. I mean, it's just the way it is. Plus, there's not that back history there. Portnoy, Petrucci, Mayung, they all kind of grew up together. LaBrie was kind of the odd guy into that mix. So it's a lot of story there. From Lewis, I just saw Pat Metheny recently. Loved that. I don't remember if you saw him this year or not. No, I saw him last year, actually. It's great. First time ever seen him. That was awesome. Terry, I have a golden bullet. No other channel has. Chris Allo. Yeah, that is damn true, man. There is no one else like Mr. Allo. No one else. Let's see. Do I prefer Elton John's falsetto voice from the 70s or his deeper voice after throat surgery from Logan's Mosh Pit? I like his 70s voice a little bit better, to be honest with you. My personal preference. From Teddy Tommy, am I going to catch Wasp? Blackie interview would be great. I might catch Wasp in November only because Armored Saint is opening up. And I like Armored Saint a lot. I'm not a huge Wasp fan. I have no interest in interviewing Blackie Lawless. I've heard Blackie Lawless is the biggest dick in interviews, so I just have no interest in that whatsoever. Favorite comedian? George Carlin, of all time. No one comes close to George Carlin, in my opinion. Let's see. What else? What time is it here? 9:18. You guys got 10 more minutes. Have I ever heard the band Here Come the Mummies? Innuendo funk band. Never heard of them. Chris, actually, Chris likes soda, but Chris is not a coffee drinker. So I don't think he drinks as much caffeine as you think, Nick. Although, maybe, and I don't even know what kind of soda he drinks, to be honest with you. I just know that usually at night during the Hudson Valley Squares, he's drinking a soda. But yeah, he's not a coffee guy. Have I ever listened from JB? Have I listened to a crossover prog band from Norway called Needlepoint? I have not. Have I listened to Slave, the funk rock band from the 70s? I have not. Thank you, T. James Music from Sydney, Australia. Love you too. Is innuendo funk a genre? I've never heard of it. I don't know what innuendo funk is. Did I get the 4 Tedeschi Trucks Band EPs. Yep, I just talked about that earlier. I got all 4 of them sitting right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got some Zappa. New Creedence Clearwater Live from the archives, live at the Royal Albert Hall, and new Marcus King. Yeah, I got a lot of new stuff here to talk about. I got new Virtual Symmetry, great prog metal band. New Blind Guardian, that's coming up. New Lonely Robot. New Esthesis. New Heavy Temple. Man, new Steve Hackett, new Van and Plas, Steve Hackett live album, new Van and Plas live album. I got so much new stuff to digest and talk about. You guys cannot imagine. Out of control. Favorite beer to drink? Again, oh my God, you guys ask a lot of the same questions over and over. Right now, Warsteiner Pilsner is my favorite beer at the moment, but I drink all sorts of stuff. What else? Did I ever check out Rick Beato's channel? Yeah, I watch Rick. Not consistently, but I catch one of his shows every once a month or whatever. I like Rick. Rick does a really good job on his channel. Let's see. What else? You're very welcome, Rock Covers. Could I do a best worst cover songs? Yeah, we've already done that. Hudson Valley Squares has already done that. Yeah, we did cover songs a long time ago. Let's see. Yeah, Van and Plas are great. Love them. Is Ken Golden in here? There's Eric Porter. Eric Porter's in the house. I think I see someone. I guess Ken is here too. From Rick Labonte, will I be interviewing Pat Travers prior to SOT's festival? Well, I was hoping it was going to happen tomorrow or Wednesday, but I have not heard back from them. Yeah, we're trying to do it. I'm also interviewing Carmine Apiece this week, so Carmine will be back on SOT. There's Laser CD, Ken Golden. What's going on? How about a Yacht Rock album ranking? I have thought about that. I just don't know if I know enough. I mean, I do listen to plenty of yacht rock or of bands that are called yacht rock. So I think at some point I'm going to do that just for fun, like maybe my top 10 yacht rock albums. I might just do that. Richard Stein, you're asking about Magma. Do you really need to ask about Magma? How long have you been watching SOT? Guys in the comments, you want to tell Richard Stein what I think of Magma? Because I'm not going to say anything. I think I've said enough. Yeah, I think I will probably do a top 10. Yeah, that first Christopher Cross album is quite good. What else here? Ranking Cheech and Chong of the albums? I don't have any of them. I have not listened to the new Pink Floyd Animals remix. No. What else? Man, a ton of stuff here. Would you ever get into vinyl just a little bit or forget about it? No, I mean, I've told the story a million times. I had tons of vinyl before, the 90s, and I got rid of all of them. So, no, I'm not going back. I have too much of this, and I have no room for vinyl. So, no, I'm not going vinyl. Am I finding She-Hulk as average as I am? George, it is pretty average. I keep watching it, and I will watch the rest of it just because I'm a Marvel guy. It's really silly. I like the fact that they're introducing some cool characters in there, but it's really silly. Yeah, it's average. But the great thing is it's only like 25 minutes each episode, 30 to top. So it's not like it takes a lot of time to watch them, but yeah, it's pretty average. And I didn't even watch Ms. Marvel. So it's like I'm hoping that one of these, Nick, I like Moon Knight a lot. I'm hoping they come out with something. I want more serious stuff. Enough with all these jokey, silly series. It's like, oh, God. From Ramon, planning to do a ranking show about best produced or best sounding album. We've done that. Go check the playlist. Do a search on the channel. We've done that before. Jamie, it's not like I don't like fun. It's just too much silliness. I don't want all my Marvel movies and shows to be comedies. It's like, it's cute, it's quirky, but it's just, man, I want a little bit of seriousness, just a little bit. It's like, I'm all for having fun, and I keep watching it, so obviously I'm getting something out of it. But what songs did you choose for your and your wife's wedding? Nothing that you guys would be interested in. It was mostly, typical wedding stuff. I did have the DJ play "Rock You Like a Hurricane" at my wedding. I will say that was the one heavy song that I got. And that was a lot of fun. All the guys ran out. We all ran on the dance floor. We were all drunk and wasted, all playing air guitar. It was loads of fun. That was really cool. Let's see. What else? Isn't She-Hulk putting down men? I don't know. I try not to get into too much of that stuff, Debbie. Let's see. Pete, you should check out my friends Jocelyn and Chris, brother sister duo from Albany. What are they? Do they play music, Kyle? I'm not familiar with them. From Terry, are you filming the Tranquility Fest segments for us poor Yeltses that can't attend? No, we're not filming anything. I'm sure people will film some of it on their phones or whatever, but no, we're not doing any professional videotaping of any of this. That's just too many other things to worry about, and we just want to get this thing off the ground. So no, we're not filming anything. So no, that won't be happening. By the way, I hope you guys are, for those of you who live in the area or can travel here, I hope you are considering coming to SOT Fall Fest. That will be a lot of fun. Have I considered going to see Roger Waters this year? No. I'm not a big enough Waters fan to go. And again, tickets are really expensive. I have other things I want to spend my money on. What's my opinion on Bebop Deluxe? Go watch my ranking video and find out. Love Bebop Deluxe. What else? Any chance of a ranking the albums of Fozzy? Possibly. I think I have most, if not all, of the Fozzy albums. I liked Fozzy a lot early on. I find that I just don't have a lot of use for Fozzy anymore. But, you know. Kevin, no, we're not doing audio recording. We're not recording anything because recording the bands, there's a whole other legality thing that goes with that. We're not getting involved in any of that this time around. So if we do another one, maybe we'll look to do some of that sort of stuff, but not this time around. Music you can use in the background when you read for a show from Rubber Soul Boy. I generally don't listen to music in the background when I read or do a show. Okay. Stanley versus Jocko on the bass. Who do you choose? Honestly, I love them both. Love them both. I think though, if I had to choose one over the other, Stanley Clarke by a hair. You know what it is? I think that Stanley's got the larger discography. You know, Jocko is the kind of cooler bass player, but, you know, I love Stanley in Return to Forever. I love his first, 4 or 5 solo albums. Slightly, right? Slightly. As far as, who's better, I'm not going to get into that whole thing. Let's see. Do I like John Mellencamp? No, I answered that earlier. I'm not a fan. What else? Have I had a chance to see Barbarian yet? What is Barbarian? Robert Parks. Don't know what Barbarian is. Do I like Tom Petty or Bob Seger? I just talked about Tom Petty 15 minutes ago. Seger, I have his 2 classic live albums. That's all I got by him. It's really all I think I need. Ranking the albums of Great White would be cool. I don't own any Great White albums anymore. I had a few of the LPs, and a few LPs back in the day and a couple of cassettes. I'm not really much of a Great White fan anymore. Let's see. George Duke album ranking would be fun, sure, but he's got 1 million albums, and I only have a couple of them. So, Andy Fraser, great bass player, great bass player. The movie Barbarian. Oh, I've not seen Barbarian. No, not yet. Am I interested in the new Bowie film? Perhaps. I have not seen it though. Do I like X Japan? Not really my thing. And with that, we've got 2 minutes left. Yeah, Flim and the BBs are kind of fun. Not great, but kind of fun. Not much of a bolt thrower fan, to be honest. John Mellencamp similar to CCR? I would not agree with that. Like I said, I don't dislike John Mellencamp. I don't really care for him much either. Let's see. Yeah, last call, exactly. You saw the original Skinner? No, I didn't get to see the original Skinner. A little bit. I was 10 years old in '76, so yeah, I was not doing that. Carcass ranking we could possibly do. I think I have them on my long list. That's definitely possible. Mom always said, "Don't play ball in the house." Mellencamp is a tool. So is the boss. Well, whatever. I don't care whether they're tools or not. I only care about whether I like their music. I like Springsteen's music. Mellencamp's doesn't do a lot for me. Let's see. How much do I weight lift and leg press? Nick, come on. Do I like the Velvet Underground? Not really. I am not a big fan of his vocals. His voice just kind of annoys me. But yeah, the music never really did much for me. Grown men singing along to Pat Benatar, yay or nay? Why not? Garrett St. Martin. My dad was into CCR and told me critics hated them. He thought some of Mellencamp's music was similar to CCR. Garrett, I don't think there's anything similar between John Mellencamp and Creedence. Not at all. For me, Mellencamp is more kind of just like singer-songwriter, I mean, he's not that much different than Petty or Springsteen or Seeger or a lot of those kind of guys. It's just different. But his songs just never really spoke to me at all. All right, let's see. Willie Nelson fan? No, I'm not a Willie Nelson fan. Yeah, Lou Reed blows. I agree. No. Misheard lyrics show. Yeah, one of these days we'll do that. Let's see. I'd love CCR, man. I think they're great. As far as Thorogood, I like Thorogood's hits. I just never took Thorogood that seriously. Eric Johnson ranking? Yeah, maybe at some point. I have a Warren Zevon little box set of like 5 or 6 of his albums that David Gallagher gave me. It's pretty good. I would put Warren Zevon in that list of guys we just talked about too. Let's see. What else? Take a walk on the wild side. Do. I mean, that song's kind of humorous, I think. Fortunate Song is a great song. Yes, it is. No, I don't like Morrissey or the Smiths. I am not into that kind of music at all. Not at all. Familiar with Hungarian prog band Omega? Tune in Wednesday. You will find out, Tommy. Did I ever consider being a professional guitar player when I was younger? Well, that was my dream, but that, kind of forgot about that dream pretty early on. Will I attend any Mets playoff games? Gary, I don't know. It's going to be really expensive. We got the new puppy now. It's it's kind of hard to do a lot of things, where the wife and I would go somewhere, leaving the house together, right? So probably not. We'll be watching it here on TV. Kenso, love Kenso, Kevin. Kenso, great Japanese fusion band. Do I think Terry Kath would have left Chicago had he not passed away? I guarantee it. That for everybody who you read about who was close to Terry said that's exactly what he was thinking. So yeah. How about a choose your own supergroup show? We've done that before. We've put together your own supergroup type of thing. We've done that. Did that on the Squares. We did that on a couple shows actually. Let's see. Any SOT folks going to see Judas Priest in Albany? I am not. I've seen Priest 4 times on this last lengthy part of this tour. I think I could take a little bit of a break for now. But I think Chris Allo's going to one of the shows. I'm not sure if it's Albany or not. But yeah. But no, I'm not going this time around. Ethan Morris, do I like Cadaver? We just ranked the albums of Cadaver not even a week ago. Yes, I like Cadaver. Go watch all these questions from people who I know watch the channel. Are you not subscribed? Do you not click on the notification bell so you get alerted every time we do these videos? Because I'm amazed at the questions people ask about stuff that we've talked about real recently here. Yes, I've proclaimed my love for, and I'm not trying to pick on you. I've been talking about Cadaver on and off on this channel for years. Yeah, we love Cadaver. Great. Go watch the ranking show. Am I going to see Merciful Fate? Yes, Teddy. I just talked about that 20 minutes ago. I do have tickets to see Merciful Fate in November. So anyway, all right, that's it, because I'm seeing repeat questions constantly. So that usually signals it's time to cut this short. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. We've got, still over 300 people. Hey, we have 330 people watching and only 168 likes. So if you're watching right now, please click on that notification. Please click the like button. I want to see that get over 200 before we leave here today. And it's still sitting at 168, so no one's clicking. There's another 10. Keep going, guys. Keep going. So what else? Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. We're at 198. 2 more. 2 more. We can do it. Let's get over 200 there. There we go, 213. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Tune in to the Hudson Valley Squares live next week, where we'll be doing the thrash show that we were going to do today. So just before we go, just so everybody knows, I see lots of comments from people who are like, oh, the Hudson Valley Squares aren't what they used to be. Nobody ever shows up anymore. All this kind of stuff. Is Pete going to discontinue the show? No. You guys got to understand, the Hudson Valley Squares became the show on the channel at the height when COVID first started. Everybody's home all the time. Everybody showed up every week on the panel. It's different now. People are going back to work. We have people on the panel who have night jobs. They have other responsibilities. It's not like we're planning on every week only having 3 or 4 or 5 people show up. It's just the way it goes. So you can't force people to not work and not do things that are important in their lives. So I'm actively looking for other folks that we know here in the Hudson Valley to come and join in. We got Rob Lasante, who's now going to be a regular on the show. There's a couple other people I'm talking to. So, Sydney Taylor is on the Alice Cooper tour. We always knew Sydney was going to be doing great things. Nick works nights. Lynn's got 3 different jobs she's working. Butch has got all sorts of irons in the fire. So, sometimes, Steve Keel is trying to run a store, Rock Fantasy. He's got pinball leagues, all that kind of stuff. So, everybody's out doing stuff, going to concerts. Everybody's going back to shows now, going to sporting events, all that kind of stuff. So, you can't expect everybody to be here every single week. It doesn't mean we're not going to still give it our all. And some nights like tonight, if the majority of the people can't make it and we have a really good topic, we're not going to do the show, and I'll come on and do this. So that's the way it is. So just got to be patient. We're trying to build it back up to, regular people every week, but it's not easy, right? It's not easy. So, we do some shows on the channel where people are very available in the evenings, and you get the same cast like in the prog seat. Everybody there works during the day. Their evenings are, generally speaking, always available. So that's why you see pretty much the same crew every week. With the squares, it's different. People are out and about working, doing stuff. This is what it is. Monday night is not always convenient for everybody each and every week. So while I would love to say that we'll bring you the same cast of Hudson Valley Squares forever and ever and ever and ever, it's not going to work out that way. So we're going to do the best we can to bring you the best Hudson Valley Squares shows on Monday night that we possibly can, regardless of who shows up. So, but I can't always plan, to have all 7 or 8 people every single week. We haven't been able to do that in a while. People have gone back into life again. So there's nothing I can do about that. I'm happy for them, right? So we will continue the show regardless of who makes it on. If you find that you can't watch the Hudson Valley Squares because your favorite Hudson Valley Squares member isn't on there anymore or hasn't been on in a while, well, what can I tell you? Because quite frankly, the first year we did the Hudson Valley Squares, there was only 3 or 4 of us week in and week out, and we did bang up business that way. So, that's how it always was in the beginning. Would I love to have everybody on every week? Sure. But it just hasn't been working out that way. Shows are still fun to do. They're still fun to watch. So I would suggest just because you don't see your favorite person or persons on there week in and week out, give us a chance because it's still a lot of fun. We're still talking about the same stuff we're talking about, So anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow on In the Prog Seat. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.